I tell the story that me and two friends were walking down the road, and I joined the military. And actually, me and one of them were going to join together. He was going to join to be a cook, and I was joining the special forces. And then we got in an argument one night, and we weren't friends anymore. And he didn't join. Well, we were friends, but we were angry at each other for a while. And the first time I went back home on leave, that friend was slamming heroin, and the other friend was in the hospital because he'd stolen a Harley, and the guys had caught him stealing the Harley, and they beat the hell out of him. That's my path. If it hadn't been for the military, instead of that, went to training, learned a whole lot of skills, met a whole lot of people, traveled parts of the United States and Panama, Central America, and then got money to go to college. You know, yeah. When and where I served in. Well, I was in North Carolina at Fort Bragg. I was at Fort Benning, Georgia for some training. Um, then Monterey, language school in Defense Language Institute in Monterey, and from there I went to Central America. I was at Fort Gulick on the Atlantic side in Panama. What was I, 18? I joined when I was 17 and a half. I joined on the delayed entry program, and I joined. I can't remember the dates, but I went in May of 1981, I think it was. 81. So yeah, no, it was 81 when I got tabbed or got my patch, and then from there I went to language school, and that was in November of 81. So I was 19. Yeah. Promotion. I did well. I got promoted to E6, and I don't know what it is now, but I know back then at 5.5 years was the minimum time in service you had to have to be an E6. And my team had sent me to the board before I was even eligible to be an E6, so that the day I was eligible on 5.5 years, I became an E6. I don't go walking around telling people I'm a Green Beret, or was a Green Beret, or a Ranger too. I mean, I was a Special Forces Ranger. I went to both. I mean, like I told you on the phone, I went from language school. For them to send me to Panama, they couldn't. They just spent all this money teaching me Spanish, but I didn't have enough time on my left on my tour for them to send me to Panama because I'd gotten married, and you have to have 3 years left. So I extended. How was service a defining part of my life in two respects? One, I think it taught me to be a man. Again, I had no dad in my life. Never had a dad. I had a big brother, of America, but I had no dad, and so I learned other traditions or other aspects from the United States of how other people behave and act and view things. I had no idea. All I knew was Southern California lifestyle, and I didn't really know about other lifestyles. And the other thing is because of the military is how I got money to go to college. If it wasn't men, that's how. I was a single mom on welfare. My mom raised me on welfare, and the military is how I broke that cycle and got out of it, and became part of how I became the man I am today. Was the military. As I said, the slogan was, "It's a great place to start," and for me, absolutely it was. That's launched my life into who I am today, and I'm proud of what I did. I'm proud of being a special force. I'm proud of being a ranger. Language school. Graduating with honors from language school.